Here we are, folks. We're finally here. We've gone through the best movies of 2020. Now we unfortunately have to go through the worst movies of 2020. And like I just literally just said, and if you haven't literally just judged by the thumbnail and the title and what I just said a few seconds ago, this is going to be another top 10 video, and today's top 10 video is going to be the top 10 worst movies of 2020. And so for this list, this is going to be what I saw was the worst of the bunch. And these are just my picks. Now, if you like these movies, that's fine. Just let me know in the comments if you like these movies or hate these movies. You're entitled to your opinion. If you liked any of these movies, if you liked any of the movies that I mentioned in my top 10 best movies of 2020, or if you didn't like any of the movies I listed in my top 10 best movies of 2020, you can also let me know in the comments as well. But at least let's look at it this way. We're almost through with this year, and we're almost done with 2020, and we have to get to the good stuff. We have to go through the bad. So these are my worst picks of the year. So at number 10, we have Zombies 2. You guys know I had no point and didn't care for the first Zombies. What makes you think I wanted a second Zombies, to be honest? And what makes this even more stupid is I remember early in 2020, there was a bulletin board or a billboard that literally promoted for Zombies 2, and I just sat there and I just went, why? At number 9 is Scoob. This doesn't scream like the classic mystery gang, and it just feels like it's just trying to capture what's trending and what's relevant right now, and it's very unoriginal in my opinion. At number 8 is Trolls World Tour. Now, I actually like the first Trolls a lot more than people expect, and a lot more than what people like out of the Trolls movie. But for Trolls 2, it just didn't work for me. It had nothing for me, to be honest. I just wasn't really that interested. And yes, I get it. It was like the first movie to be like on VOD or whatever since the pandemic and since this whole situation, but it doesn't do anything for me. It just really didn't see any interest. I don't know why. It just wasn't my thing. At number 7 is the Playmobil movie. This was stupid. I didn't care for this, and I feel like this was just whether it's the plot or just the premise itself, just feels like a Lego movie ripoff, and that was just very stupid. At number 6, we have Doolittle. Doolittle was just very unfortunate and just a big old mess, and it's very unfortunate because of the fact that this is Robert A. Jr. coming off of the MCU, and he's trying to do something new and different after all these years of being with the MCU and being Iron Man. This is his basically return to being, hey, I want to start doing other things and start doing other movies and films and characters and performances, and this is the one that he chose. And I feel bad for Robert Downey Jr., to be honest, because they're just dumb jokes, ridiculous CGI, and unfortunately what caps off even more is that it's got a stellar cast of animals, and it's wasted potential. I'm sorry, everyone that was involved in Doolittle. Alright, this is pretty short and quick and easy, but I'm gonna make this pretty short and quick and easy for you guys. And we're already near our final 5 on my list. At number 5, Fantasy Island. I know this is a remake, but I didn't care for this remake. Yeah, there's Michael Pena in it. Michael Pena is funny, but just didn't find that interesting in the film. Maybe it is good because I heard some things about it, but just didn't really like it from what I saw. Because, like I said, these are the movies that I saw of 2020 that were the worst. I didn't see every movie 2020, but this was definitely one that I sat there and went, really? I was like, meh, just wasn't really that interested, and then just lost focus for me, and that is one of the worst things, or one of the many worst things that a movie can do for me. At number 4, The Jesus Rules. Nobody asked for this movie whatsoever. I don't think anyone wanted this, and if you wanted to do a continuation of The Big Lebowski or a spin-off, why John Turturro's character is beyond me. It makes no sense, and it was just it even lacked that Coen Brothers feel and style, and it was just worse than what people are saying it to be. Number 3 is Artemis Fowl. This is just even more of a big mess with just how like the plot is and the CGI, and again, I hate Josh Gad in this movie. I hate so far most of Josh Gad's performances in Disney films. Nothing personal towards the actors, just I don't like his performances, and especially this one just really was annoying with him being like, I got this gravelly voice going on and all these other things, and I'm listening to Foreigner, yeah, listen to 80s rock and 90s rock, I'm trying to be like Star-Lord. No, you're not Star-Lord, okay? At number 2, we have the 365 days. This just wasn't interesting. This was really stupid, and especially the fact that they're trying to basically parody things like 50 Shades of Grey and all these other things. And it has a very misleading genre or plot where it's like it feels like it's like a rom-com or like what do you call it? One of those like I can't even think of the word. But like not a rom-com, but it feels like it's trying to be like 50 Shades of Grey, but it turns into this like thriller or this something psychological, and it just doesn't work. And if you're gonna really just make fun of those movies, don't. Those movies are not interesting in the first place. Don't try and parody it now, okay? Before I unveil my number 1 pick, here are a few honorable, or most likely in this case, dishonorable mentions. Birds of Prey. Now, I found Birds of Prey fun at times here and there, but it's just, unfortunately, it's just the Margot Robbie show, and that's the worst thing I can say about this. Mulan. Very just unoriginal, and it could have been something really good, but it just gives just such a misleading promise. Trump Card. I don't want to even get into the plot or anything else about this film. It just sounds stupid alone. Just let alone that, okay? Enough said. The Grudge. It didn't look that great from the first time around, and it's not gonna look any better now. We're finally here, folks. It wasn't that hard, but hey, we got through them. We finally made it. And my number 1 pick of my top 10 worst movies of 2020 is, drumroll please, Bloodshot. From the get-go, I knew this was going to be bad, and that's so unfortunate because the fact of Bloodshot is such a cool character, and the Valiant comic universe is so really just rich with lore and with these really dark and kind of like almost mature characters and with mature themes, and not just with the blood, the swearing, the gore, but there's some characters that have some mature themes, and especially one like Bloodshot, and you messed that up on your first shot at trying to do a Valiant cinematic universe, and that just was horrible. And from the trailers, it looked really bad, and the CG looked very messy, and the trailers basically gave away everything that's gonna happen in the movie from point A to point B and to point Z. You knew from beat for beat what was going to happen, and that just ruined it for me. And it's even worse when you have such a good actor like Vin Diesel, who could probably do a good Bloodshot, but after seeing this movie, I think if you want to do something Bloodshot related, do something like Bat in the Sun, do something like that where you have something like Jason David Frank that's Bloodshot, and there you go. But don't do this. Please don't do this, because this was just horrendous and god-awful. But those are my movies, the worst movies of 2020. Let me know in the comments, what do you think were the worst of the bunch? Are there any that you liked? Feel free to let me know in the comments. It's all fine and dandy if you liked any of these movies, like I said before. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please smash that button. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I do awesome videos every day, every week. And make sure you ring that bell to be notified. I do new videos every day of every week. And share the video with family and friends and all that good stuff. And leave some suggestions in the comments, whether it is just top 10s, gaming, vlogs, Q&A, you name it, I'll look into it as soon as possible, and I'm going to try to do the best I can to at least come back, and then hopefully 2021 could be a good recovery year for, not just for me to recover emotionally and personally and recover back onto the channel, my channel here, but also a good year just to recover and just for people in general, because we all deserve kind of like just a bit of forgiveness and a bit of like healing after what has happened, and maybe we can kind of hopefully keep moving forward into the new year, and hopefully things will look a little bit better, fingers crossed. But I hope you guys have a happy new year, and I will see you guys also, speaking of which, in the new year. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.